Hello, thank you so much for having us today. My name is Juan Carlos Brando, and I thank everyone for having us in your launch time with the attorney Margaret W. Wong, who has been working on the immigration field for over 46 years. And she has been doing an awesome job going through the times, through the presidents, administrations, different heads of the USCIS. And well, she's still there working for you, for me, for the families, trying to reunite all the families that are coming from different countries: India, Bangladesh, Nigeria, uh, Latin America, from Europe as well. And she has been doing an awesome job. So we thank her for all that she is doing. Today, we're going to have a good show where a lot of people are going to ask questions. So if you have any questions, please feel free to write it down in our show, and the attorney Margaret W. will answer live, and the answer is going to be absolutely free. So let's welcome our head attorney in the law firm, Margaret W. Wong. Good morning or good afternoon, Miss Wong. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well, and thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss Wong, for having us. And well, I'm coming right back from the headquarters of the police department here in Cobb County, Georgia. And we had a very interesting meeting with the chief of the police department in that county. And he was mentioning about the crime going down, at least in the state of Georgia, even though some of the crimes that social media or mass media are referring are bad crimes, and they say that in general the crime is going up. They have noticed in recent surveys and recent analysis that the crime has gone down 29% in relation to the last 10 years. The reason is that some of the crimes that are highlighted in social media or mass media are murders or other kind of bad crimes. But in general, crime has been going down little by little. So the other thing is that foreign people are many times victims of crime, but they don't report to police because several reasons, but one of them is they are afraid that ICE is going to come for them and pick them up, take them into a detention center, and eventually put them on hold immigration and send them back to their countries. So right now, we are having this conversation with you, and we hope that you can give us some answers to the questions that people have, but also what are your thoughts about Hispanic people, foreign people being victim of crime, and what can we do? Are we able to report to the police? Are we able to go and call someone to help us if we are victims of crimes?
Yes, and Mr. Juan Carlos, I'm so happy you mentioned this. That's why the president, actually Obama, started it, and then it's getting to be a lot more reporting now. Is the U visa. This new visa called STNU. S visa is when I'm not a victim, but I reported the crime and I helped the police solve the crime. That's an S visa. T visa is illegal transport. So, for example, my friend told me this company would pay me $12 an hour to go to America to work. Once I get there, they make me stay in a bedroom with a lot of rats. They pay me only $3 an hour, and they took my passport. So that's a T visa. The U visa is a victim of crime. So if you are a victim of a crime and you report the three elements, you report to police, so there's a crime. You collaborate with police and help them pick up or not pick up the bad guy, and there's injury. So that's a U visa. Right now, every year, there's 10,000 U visa, but right now there's a backlog. That's why President Biden did the right thing by giving a 4-year work permit, the C-14 work permit, after the bona fideness letter, because U.S. Homeland Security cannot approve the U visa unless there's like less than 10,000. Right now, there are thousands and thousands of U visas sitting in Homeland Security, and they couldn't approve it because Senate and Congress will not approve an increase of from 10,000 to 30,000 on the U visa. And that's sad. On the same note, right now, the Republicans are very angry at Mr. Mayorkas because they're claiming, he said, he was letting the illegals in and he's not running the Homeland Security well. This, and I want our listeners to know that this is really a bunch of crap. President Biden and Mr. Mayorkas really, and I've known Mr. Mayorkas and President Biden for a long, long time because I'm old in America. And I know they are doing whatever they can do to help, but they cannot open the doors. And they know that, and I know that, and you know that. We cannot let all the illegals come in. So now they're under attack because Florida and Texas, now they're yelling at him that we're letting too many people in. Of course, it's a problem because even the Texas governor is yelling at Disneyland. I mean, whoever dares to yell at, it's horrible. But those of you who could vote and citizens of America, make sure the message get out to Republicans, because and it's really from the voice, because people like us, we don't have a voice, we cannot vote, so they can talk as much as we can, but most of us cannot vote, so both people who can vote and who have a voice, to the senators, to the congressmen, you need to express to them that what the Republicans are saying about Mr. Mayorkas is totally out of their minds, and they already push out the CBP head, and they cannot and dare they not push out Mr. Mayorkas, because he really is probably one of the few heads of CBP who actually work with people like us. He listens to us. He's like Pope Francis, there's only so much Pope Francis can do. And that's what Mr. Mayorkas can do. Because if the government does not work with him, I don't know what else he can do, but he's doing whatever he could. Exactly on this U visa, he's giving us the 4-year work permit. He's doing whatever he can. He's trying to let people come and parole the 30,000, the Ukrainians. Afghanistan is more difficult because of terrorism, and it's hard. I mean, we are working whatever we can do to help people keep safe in America.
Thank you so much, Ms. Wong, for having us and for this answer. Because, we have seen lots of changes coming through the years in the United States. And what we can say is that presidents will try their best, people in charge will try their best. But somehow, us immigrants find a way around the limits just to do our stuff. For example, if we need to do our taxes, we find a way around to have a return instead of paying. So that's not fair because, we have our ways, we have our situations, we have our tricky minds sometimes. we need to give it up. We need to give it up.
That's right. And we should not claim, which was legal at one time. So I have clients who claim, oh, my niece in Mexico, my nephew in Europe, my mother in Spain. I'm like, oh, please, you should only claim your household, your family. In America, even parents is not in the same unit as your family. But it was legal. There was a time, but now it's illegal anymore. So people are changing. But you're right, Mr. Juan Carlos. I mean, sometimes we think we're very smart. And that's also because we don't read American newspapers. We're not into the American mainstream. We work with bookkeepers or accountants from our own community. And to compete for business, they want a refund. Oh, my friend got a refund of $300. Why do I only get a refund of $200? So the poor bookkeeper keep claiming all these exemptions.
Yes,
So
that's true.
yeah.
And thank you so much, Miss Wong, for listening to my comment. And well, let's start with the questions that people have today. We will start with Gerson or Gerson Rodriguez. He says, entered without inspection on 2005, currently married, and have kids with US born citizen. The 601A is taking 2 years. Is there any way to get work permit and social security number while I wait?
Depends if you already were stopped by the police and called ICE because the 10-year cancellation of removal, you could only file the 42B in court. So if you were already called to ICE and then you sat in jail for one night, you can do the 10-year cancellation. Within 3 to 6 months, you get a work permit, number one. Number two is 601A is taking 3.5 years. It's not even 2 years. I feel very bad for you. But 42B is one way. Another way is to see if there's any maybe 245I. So depends if your parents have green card, when did you marry your wife, and if someone filed for your parents or you before April of '01, and or for example your father got the green card through amnestia, your father filed for your mother but never filed for you because he didn't. In those days it's only $35, but you'd be amazed how many people like us, we didn't have the money to pay for the kids. So and then the mother came and we're saving money for the kids, and then you age out. So these are little things that you can look at, but aside from these things there's no way to get a work permit, and I'm really sorry about that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Miss Wong, for your answer. I was just fixing my color of my camera because it was looking a little bit different to the normal camera. Okay. Don't forget that if you need more information about your 601A, if it's taking too long, or if you need other benefits, just call the attorneys. Call the attorneys and they will be happy to help you out. The phone number is 216-279-3984, 216-279-3984. And the next question says, hi, people. My wife abandoned me and my kids. She disappeared. I have three young kids. We have not heard from her for 4 years. She is Salvadorian. Is that a good qualification to apply for VAWA?
As long as she has a citizen or green card and you had married her, it's a good case for WAWA. If she's not a citizen or green card, you don't qualify for WAWA.
So it looks like this person doesn't have any immigration status in the United
Right,
States.
so you won't qualify.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Wong, for this answer. The next question is coming from our YouTube channel, which is as follows. And don't forget that you can call. The phone number is 216-279-3984, 216-279-3984. Roshan is saying, um, I have a green card, and during COVID, I stayed in India for more than 6 months as I couldn't travel due to travel restrictions. I wanted to know if my stays in the US prior to COVID can still be counted towards my 30 months to
Citizen.
become
Yeah,
citizen.
absolutely yes. As long as you came back less than 1 year, um, the and you have in the past 5 years, 30 out of 60 months, yes, it counts. Absolutely. But if you stayed outside of America for more than 1 year and 1 day, then you have to start the 4 years of 1 day again. But if you since you came back less than 1 year, absolutely it counts.
Okay, Miss Wong, I'm back. I'm sorry, I had a little connection issue right here. Thank you so much for your patience. Thank you so much. Don't forget the phone number is 216-279-3984, 216-279-3984. 3984. Next question comes from Yvette. She says, um, I had a, I was verbally approved on October 1st, 2021, and I was told that I need to wait for my number to get my green card. Well, right now, my dad is very sick in the hospital, and I need to go see him outside of the United States. I need to go to Mexico, and I haven't been there for 22 years. I lost my mom, my brother, and I couldn't be there. So I'm close to lose my father. Is there a way that I could travel?
She did not say verbally approved. My gut is she's verbally approved on 42B. 42B, you have to wait in line for the number. 42B only have 4,000 to 10,000 number, and more people are winning 42B because hardship to family members. So, and I'm really sorry, you cannot travel. And what you need to do is make sure you continue your work permit extension. And I'm sorry because you still have to pay for that. But you cannot travel. I'm very sorry. I hear this every day. That's why we need to do something to help people because the world is getting very global. But America is not following up. It's like for people like you and I, traveling is like, oh, it's just a 6-hour flight, 5-hour flight. But for people like us, even though you won the case, you could not travel until you get the green card. And worse is when the number is up. Now you have to make sure the judge or remind the ACC to transfer the file to immigration to release that green card. It's another process. I mean, it's not difficult, it's just a pain.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ms. Wong, for your answer. Don't forget that the attorney Margaret W. Wong has offices in 9 cities of the United States, and you can go to any of the cities and have your appointment. So just give us a call. The phone number is 216-279-3984, 216-279-3984. Gautam has the next question. How long after she enters the United States can EB3 nurse apply for citizenship? Thank you so much.
That's so nice. Congratulations. It's a EB3 nurse. It's 4 years, 9 months, and 1 day. So check the green card. Asylum green card, they cut 1 year, so you can actually get the citizen in 4 years. But a nurse green card is 5 years, so you can apply 4 years, 9 months, and 1 day.
Okay,
congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ms. Wong. And this next question says, I have 2 kids that are born in the United States. I entered over 15 years ago, and they are under 18. Of course, they were born in this country, but I would like to know if it's a good idea to file for asylum. I am from Honduras.
If you have a good story, a good narrative, and when I meant story, I really meant the narrative. Is there any future fear? Is there any past fear? Why didn't you file within the year? That's very, very important. Is there a pattern and practice? You really need this narrative. Is just like watching a movie, listening to a song. The timing is everything. The full stops, the comma, the narrative is very important. What made you suddenly want now to file for asylum? Why didn't you do it before? Why don't you do it later? Is there any change in country conditions or personal circumstances? Asylum is really, I think, is a very challenging and fun situation. A lot of people thought asylum is easy, but it's not easy, but it's also not difficult. You just have to really give the judge or a CIS a good narrative.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ms. Wong. And well, we always have people that are not happy for the job that we do helping people get immigration status. So somebody just wrote here, crimigration, which is like crime immigration. So what would you say about the people that think that immigration or immigrating to the United States without inspection is a crime.
It's absolutely not a crime. Know your law. You're an American citizen, probably, or you're a foreign born who got a green card. Actually, it's weird talking about politics. Most people who have um, green cards and citizen, we tend to be very conservative. We want people to file tax. We don't need government support to support my children because it's my responsibility. I'm going to take care of my family. Um, it's not criminal. There are two types of laws in America. One is criminal and one is civil. Criminal means that I sell more drugs, I go more to jail. I murder people, I go to jail. I kill people, I go to jail. It's all about jail and fines and money, right? You have the white collar people, you have insider trading, you have SEC, you have drug people. Those are all criminal. Bankruptcy is not criminal, so it's just like immigration. Bankruptcy not criminal, tax issues not criminal, um, immigration issues not criminal, SEC issues may be criminal, maybe not. Is like civil. Civil. There's only two laws in America. You're either civil or criminal. Two types of people in America. You're either citizens or non-citizens. So immigration absolutely coming into America is not criminal. Criminal means that when I come to America illegally, but in the meantime, I got drunk, I have a DUI. So that's criminal immigration. How does the criminal act of DUI affect my immigration status in America? It's the same as an American citizen. I'm born in America. Now I'm on drugs. How does that affect my future job, right? Because they don't have to fight. But please don't misunderstand. And this is very aggravating. Immigrants are not criminal. It's civil to come to America illegally. Not that I'm recommending them to come illegally, but people who come illegally is a civil violator, it's not criminal. But more and more America, because of the overbuilding of jails, they're putting them in jail. Someone have to support the jail population. Someone have to pay for the bonds who support the jails. That's why America put all immigration jails like somewhere out in Timbuktu. So lawyers cannot even travel there. So if a client needs lawyers representation to get them out of jail, we cannot travel there. So we have to go on WebEx. And that's not fair. Oh, I can go you on. I've been doing this for a long time. And Chinese people are very conservative. We want people to pay tax. We're tiger moms, we don't want criminal. But coming to America illegally is not a criminal act.
Yes, Miss Wong, but this person seems that like he wants to clarify his comment. I brought it up due to having two misdemeanors charges in the first 5 years of acquiring my green card. Any hope for citizenship?
Yes. You need to get your now. That's a different story. That's okay. Now I got it. It's not because we come illegally. Is you already an immigrant? You have a green card, but you have two criminal records. But don't assume all criminal records are criminal. Inadmissible. In order not to be able to be a citizen or to be jailed, you need to look at the two certified judgment entries and two transcripts and see if there's CIMT and see if they're aggravated felony. If only one CIMT, you could still become a citizen. So let me look at your certified judgment entry and transcripts, and then we'll go from there. Another way to do it is to get a good criminal lawyer to see if you can do a motion to vacate, not expungement, vacate. Because if you can vacate one of them, you can still become a citizen. Just be careful because two CIMTs, it may be a mandatory detention. In immigration, mandatory detention means that there's no bond. It's not like criminal where the Madoff, all these people who took people's money. You pay $1 billion bond, they let you out. In immigration, if you have more than two CIMTs, sometimes there's no bond.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Wong, for your comment. And yeah, well, sometimes people will say something and we interpret that like a mean comment. So we need to give an answer. But thank you so much for clarifying your comment and for your answer, Ms. Wong, that you're always right on point. The next question says, I entered on a work H-2B visa had an accident at work. My boss fired me because I hired a PI attorney. Can I find a new employer with this same visa or will I lose my visa? What should I do now?
Okay. The problem with H-1B, H-2B, they're all employer specific. You're already probably undocumented in America because the H-2B normally is only for 5 months, 4 months. You could not, the answer is you could, on the H visa is employer specific, job specific, location specific, which means that you could not use a new employer, but go ahead and do it. Once you're undocumented, it's not like selling drugs. I drink more, I have more DUI. I sell more drugs, I go more in jail. You're already undocumented. Working undocumented doesn't mean you're more or less undocumented, right? The worst thing they can do is deport you. It's not like they fine you more money. It's not like you have to go more in jail. If you're already undocumented, it doesn't matter. As long as you don't say you're an American citizen. So never say you're an American citizen.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Wong, for your answer. Don't forget, everybody who is joining us today, you can call the attorney Margaret W. Wong. The phone number is 216-279-3984, 216-279-3984. That's the phone number of the attorney Margaret W. Wong that you can call, and she will be happy to take care of your question or your immigration concern. The next question comes from Gautam again and says, my friend got into the United States in visitor's visa and was out of status for a year and got TPS now.
Good job.
Can they adjust through job sponsorship?
It depends. If they're under 18 years old and you got TPS under the age of 18, you cannot. It depends. Employment based, you're allowed 180 days out of status. So if you're out of status 180 days and you enter legally, there may be a way to adjust. But if you enter undocumented, it's weird. But if you already have TPS, I think you'll be okay. So I think you could adjust, depends on how old and how many days you were out of status and stuff like that. But if there's a potential for perm, and you're not born in China, India, and you probably not born there because they don't have TPS, then probably you could adjust.
Thank you so much, Ms. Wong. And we have another question, interesting, very interesting. I think we never had this question before. Good afternoon. Is extortion considered a violent crime that qualifies for a U visa?
That's a good question. It depends on what kind of extortion. I have a client this morning. Actually, he came to America undocumented because he was extorted because his family sort of have some land and money. So they were extorting his family. So once he came to America, they actually left him a lot of voicemails and tried to extort him in America, thinking now he's in America, he's making US dollars. He actually reported to police. The question is, would he qualify for a U visa? It depends. Normally, American police are weird. If it's just like a phone extortion, normally they don't think or they don't have the resources to investigate. But if you maybe report to FBI and it's a serious extortion, of course it qualifies for U visa. The problem with U visa is that you need a law enforcement agency to sign the papers. So if you report to police, a local police, they don't investigate. So probably they won't sign. So the question should be, if it's an extortion and it's only verbal, it's on my cell phone, and I reported to local police and they did not investigate, will they sign my 918B? And if they don't sign the 918B, you cannot do the U visa. That's the right question and the right answer.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ms. Wong. Our time is up for today. So thank you. I'm looking forward to see you next week. And of course, for people having all of their questions and asking them live in our show. So thank you so much, Ms. Wong. Have a good lunch. Take some time to get lunch, please, and have a nice day.
Thank you. Same to
Thank you so much. And for everybody that has joined us today, don't forget, we are just one call away from you. The phone number is 216-279-3984, 216-279-3984. That's the phone number in the law offices of Margaret W. Wong and Associates. 216-279-3984, 216-279-3984. My name is Juan Carlos Brando, and thank you so much for joining us today.